So the spring is over. 15 practices in as Ohio State continues to prepare for the 2025 season with Texas on deck first. At home, there will probably be another banner up there. If you guys can see it right now, it's just 2014. But they got rings, but they didn't necessarily put the banner up today. That's because that thing is mechanical. It's not just a piece of paper. I'm Steven. That's Stefan. That's Andrew. Stefan, I want to start with you. Who is one of the biggest winners of Ohio State's spring schedule?
I think I'm going to pick the biggest winner. I don't think it's one of the three. I think it's Austin Saraveville. I think not only has he emerged as a potential starting right tackle for this team, I think he's emerged as maybe the best offensive lineman on this team. I mean, he's definitely one of the 5 best, and I think that's why we keep talking about this guy has to have a starting spot somewhere on this offensive line. And if it's not a starting spot, then he better be on the line of scrimmage every series. Doesn't matter where he's in. Rotate however you want. Figure it out however you want. He's got to have a role on this team. Austin Saraveville has made immense strides as a leader, physically, mentally. Everything you needed from him this offseason, he's given to you this spring. And I think this team really needed someone like that. Like, we know what Sonny Styles brings, what Caleb Downs brings, Davison Igbinosun. You look on the offensive line, like guys like Carson Hinsman and Luke Montgomery, right? Like, you kind of knew someone had to be that alpha to really take that next step. Like be the guy that when we're having so many questions of who's going to emerge now that they're in a bigger role, like someone really had to slip. We don't have any questions about Austin Saraveville anymore. No. Like even Ryan Day, he's talking about James Peoples. He thinks he's going to be special. He hasn't played a lot of football. You talk about a guy like Jermaine Matthews. We think he's going to be great. Okay, but he hasn't started a ton of games. Like there's these different roles that you're saying, yeah, that guy's going to be good, but you still got to see it. With Austin Saraveville, you're kind of just sitting there thinking like, this guy's gonna be fine. Like it's all right. Like that's how big of a stride he's made this spring. I think he's the biggest winner, and I'm really excited to see what Ohio State does with him. Just because we went from is he gonna rotate left guard? He might just be this team's starting right tackle. We've seen 3 open practices. He's been the starting right tackle with the ones each time. I think he's that good.
He looks like an all Big Ten player. And I like the way Ryan Day talked about the offensive tackle depth in general. I asked him, and he said solid. Now, will they add people for the sake of numbers? Sure. But he said, I think that we're going to have 4 tackles, and I think Austin Saraveville is going to be one of those guys. Andrew, who's your guy?
I'm going to bend the rules slightly. Tyler Bowen.
We never said you couldn't say that.
I know. But find me someone in Ohio State's program who has had a better 6 weeks than Tyler Bowen. And the answer is no one, because you cannot. One, because of Austin Saraveville, but more than just that. This team now has depth. And think about think about all the talent we had. Steven, this is for you. Think about all the talent we had on the 2024 Ohio State conversation, right? Oh my goodness, they're loaded here, they're loaded here, they're loaded here. What did we say could get that team in trouble? If a tackle goes down, they're in some trouble, and that becomes a recruiting issue, and that becomes a whole other thing. If a tackle goes down, they're in some trouble. And guess what? A tackle went down, and they were kind of in some trouble until Donovan Jackson stepped up. But you look at where this unit is. You have Ethan Nyanwa and Austin Saraveville, and that might be your starting tackle tandem, and your backup tackles might be Ian Moore and Phillip Daniels. That is a great place to be. Your starting interior offensive line today, Luke Montgomery, Carson Hinsman, Tegra Shabola, that's one returning starter who started pretty much the whole year, and then you got 2 contributors who were pretty much involved in the rotation or started every single game of the college football playoff run. Then your second team, I mentioned the tackles, Josh Padilla, somebody everybody in this program raves about. Gabe Van Sickle, people rave about. You've got options in there. Carter Lowe, Jake Cook. People talk about this offensive line now as not just, well, you're good 5 or 6, and if you get to 7 or 8, you're in some trouble. No, this offensive line has depth. I thought they were unbelievable today, which I think delves into another issue that this team might have. But I thought they were unbelievable. They fitted up every run, especially when you saw Ohio State start to get moving the ball. They could really run the ball. So I thought the offensive line looked dominant today. They looked really good. I'm very excited to see what Tyler Bowen can do with this group moving forward. And then there's the recruiting aspect of this, man. Like, they've gotten 3 recruits in the last 6 weeks, 5 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever it's been. You bring in 2 kids, Maxwell Riley and Sam Greer from in-state. You bring in another kid, Tucker Smith from out west in Arizona. Like, this has just been an unbelievable spring for Tyler Bowen. So he, to me, is the winner because, yeah, it's the on-field product, but it's everything else he's brought this program in the recruiting aspect as well. And this has been something Ohio State fans have been begging for years. Recruiting on the offensive line. And guess what? Think about how many offensive linemen were here today. Think about how many offensive linemen have been here throughout the spring. Tyler Bowen has been a remarkable shot in the arm for this program, and I think we've all been very impressed with him. He is my biggest winner of the spring because no one, I think, has meant more to Ohio State than him right now.
I mean, Ryan Day won a ring. He's been kind of on a media tour.
Right now, in spring practice.
He's still on the media tour during spring practice. He's playing ping pong over at 10 TV the other day.
Got a pretty big raise.
Mark Bertoni did too. The winners are Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Dallas because they got out of the spring and they're still healthy. Woo! But in all seriousness, Mylan Graham's the winner. Austin Saraveville's awesome. What Tyler Bowen is starting to do, it's good signs.
Yeah.
But you got to finish it. I've seen this road before where they start off hot, but they don't continue it. They got to continue it. Mylan Graham's going to have to play this year. And we know who the starters are, JJ, Carnell Tate, and Brendan Ennis. Number 5 has to play this year. Ryan Day said something that I thought was very interesting, though. And it's interesting. We got to see it play out. Finishing catches. He had a goal line fade here where he did all the work. He made Aaron Scott fall down. He's wide open. Julian makes a good throw to him. He's got to catch that ball because that's the standard there is Ohio State receivers catch balls like that. But we also saw him take a simple crosser route and go 40 yards down the field with it. Garrett Wilson is back in Columbus. And his name is Mylan Graham. He just looks like Garrett Wilson, and he's wearing number 5. That kid going through his first spring has taken leaps and bounds from where he was a year ago when he showed up in the summer. And it's like, okay, Ohio State had a 5-star wide receiver as a true freshman. He's so awesome that you forgot that they had another 5-star wide receiver, and he's playing like it right now. Brian Hartline has a good problem on his hands. He's got a clear top 3, and he's got a 4th guy who is making it a top 4. Mylan Graham is a guy to watch and continue to watch this year, especially if Ohio State approaches things the way they did last year, where they're trying to maintain guys and get them through a 16-game schedule. There's a role for Mylan Graham to have this year, and I can't wait to see what Ryan Day and Brian Hartline come up with him. Get the text, 614-350-3315, 2-week free trial. I'll be talking about little Garrett Wilson, Mylan Graham, all summer there. That's Stefan, that's Andrew. I'm Steven, and go listen to Buckeye Talk wherever you find podcasts. See you later.